All right, so this is going on YouTube. This is the most recent tournament. I was just playing in Team Amateur, right? So this is a Team Manager. So Team Amateur. Let me tell y'all what happened, right? So right here, this is the turn. This is round 2. This is what I'm showing y'all. Now let me tell y'all what happened, right? I was supposed to for round 1. Round 1, I was actually 2 hours late for my game. Bruh. I actually was supposed to be there on time, right? But my flight got delayed 2 times. Bruh. Garbage. 2 times my flight was delayed. So I actually got to the round for the first round literally like with like 5 minutes on the clock, bro. 5 minutes on the clock. Now, mind you, I'm actually used to using increment these days too as well. Increment because I'm playing the norm tournaments with the big dogs, and we always play increment. We don't play nothing else. We don't play nothing else. Let's go. Jude NYC, thank you so much for the raid. What's good? Yeah, we just going over the tournament right now, right? And talking through it. Aiden says, I'm 2050, got a 2400 performance, and it's turning. That's great job there, Aiden. Great job. Shout out to you actually have to do I'll spell it out. Original white pepper. That's how I will do it. Thanks for that. I was on Jude's team. Let's go. Jude's team. That's fire. Great job, Aiden. Great job. So for first round 1, I did what happened there, guys? Like I was there too late. It was so annoying. I got there so late. I was like no time on the clock. I was so annoyed. I was literally so annoyed by that. So, right, I lose on time in the first game. The first game, I'm losing on time. Like, there's just no increment, whatever. First game's over. Second game here, though, here it is, right? So I get the black pieces. Yeah, you have to sit there the whole time at those 19. You have to sit there the whole... In fact, in this one, usually you have an hour forfeit, but I guess this one is different. USCF rules, I think, are just different. But, I mean obviously, because it's USCF, but... he could sit there the whole time, right? So that's the first round. First round, okay, cool. I run out of time. It's whatever. Like I was supposed to be there. I get up at 6 in the morning, flight at 8. I'd be there at 10 in the morning. Rounds at 1. I don't get to the first round until 3, right? You know, so cool, perfect, whatever. I don't even care. This ain't even a norm tournament. I ain't tripping, right? So we get to the second round. We go to the second round. Here we go. Now I go to the second round, and here's it. Here it is. We got Magesh. I always get his last name wrong, so I either call him Panchanathan or Panchonathan or Panchonathan, but it's Magesh. Magesh, okay, Grandmaster. He was 2586 at his peak. It's super strong. The man is nasty. Maggie P, exactly. Big Mag with the swag, right? Whatever you want to call him. The man is nasty on this board. You need to know that. So he 2474, I think, right now in this February FIDE, but still disgusting, okay? The man is out here, to say the least. And the most. Okay, this man Magesh is good. He real good, y'all. He's real good. So we got Magesh. I'm playing black. Cool, and I actually know him too. Like we cool. We did commentary together. So when I came in there, when I walked up to him, I kind of like just dapped him up. Like I just like dapped him. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? Like we was like, yo, what's good? Oh, what's up, Canty? And I'm like, what's up, bro? And then we sit down. And then I'm like, all right, cool, saber on. Like, no more talking, right? You know, so this is what we do. So after knight f3, knight f6, this is the game. He goes g3, g6, bishop g2, bishop g7. So as we're flying through, this is easy stuff. It's a usual KID or a usual King's Indian. Castle, castle. Very easy. Very easy. You can play this instantly. Instantly. Literally instantly, right? Okay, so after castles, d4, d6, a4. 5.5 plus 120, 1820. Let's go, Jude. Let's go. Good. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. So A4, and this line right here, guys. Actually, let's go back. In fact, here, this is. I mean, I was with my coach. I worked with my coach today on this game. So working with my coach, we talked. Man, this game alone. He was like, this game alone could have been 10 hours of study, of like analysis. He was like, yo, we could analyze this for 10 hours. And I was like, dang, bro, like that's a lot of time, dog. 10 hours. But I was like, yo, that's a lot of time. But like, he was like, yeah, we could just do 10 hours. All right, yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yo, man, we deep through here tonight. What's up, Big Ben for the win? Big Ben for the win came in here with the raid. We doing Super Saiyan Tao right now. Right now. Right now. You watching me play the game? Yeah. Right now, look, hey, check this game out. Big Ben, bro. I play Magesh, right? I played Magesh. This is Super Saiyan Talent number 2. Super Saiyan Talent number 1, I beat Mark Paragua in New York. So now this one is I'm playing Magesh in the recent, Team Amateur. It's called Super Saiyan Talent number 2. And nobody's seen the game. Nobody really knows. But I'm going to show y'all what this is and what was going on in this game right here. It's amazing, right? So Magesh. Okay, so we got a King's Indian, right? He go D4, King's Indian style stuff. Right, here. And I'm thinking we go on the regular route. C4, knight, C3. Thanks, Mac. Appreciate you for the 7, bro. D6 and then A4. He plays A4. Now, this is an interesting move. Has anyone in the chat, you can stop and pause here. Have you ever, for King's Indian players, and people that actually play against the King's Indian, have you ever seen this? Now, me, I am familiar with this. And in my prep, my slight 10 minutes of prep, because you didn't have that much time really, maybe 15, of like prepping for them between the rounds. I have never seen this, says Mike C. So yeah, A4, guys. Have you ever seen the A4 in the King's Indian? Anyone in the chat, are you familiar with it? Have you ever seen the A4 in King's Indian? I actually know a player, shout out to him, I'm gonna shout him out in a minute, that actually plays this. I mean, I don't know if he's still playing, but I know he's a buddy of mine that played it once in your vid, but I forget it really. I didn't even remember that, dang. Play it a lot? You do? You play it a lot? It's white X Factor, okay? X Factor. Are you playing it as well? Is that what you're saying? If you are, what's your idea? Why are you just playing A4? This is not the standard King's Indian that you see, right? C4, knight C3, big center. I think Levy showed this line once too. Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. I've seen it. Kasparov, yo, Saiyan, thanks for the prime, baby. And Kasparov on King's Indian, small pink book. Oh, amazing. I don't even know about that one. No, sorry, play King's Indian a lot. Never seen it. Oh, you've never seen the A4, right? So A4, this one is more of a positional move. You're just grabbing a lot of space here, and what happens is, let's flip the board here. In fact, what you're doing is you're getting here, and you're trying to be annoying and use this. This is like the whole idea. You do queen side play like this. There are some very, very advanced lines here that start with, in fact, knight to C6, which in the database, I looked up his games, right? I'm seeing what he played. I'm like, sizing him up. What the man, okay, what he do? Oh, all right, let's hit him this way, right? And knight C6, he's played against this. So he played A5. So he's very comfortable. We're very comfortable right now. Both of us are very comfortable. A5. And what he's faced in this position right here is actually A6. He's faced A6 and like 2 other moves, like D5. Let's go back. Let me just make sure that's correct. No, A5, A6, and maybe something else. But it's something where he didn't face my move, which I think is E5. In this position, after A5, I know he's faced A6 multiple times, and he's also faced a few other moves. But the one that I played was like sort of a novelty to him. I'm sure maybe he's faced it, but in the database games, of everything I can find on him, he has never faced this in particular. So already gives me a kind of slight of an edge, because if I know the plans and ideas better than you, I'm gonna work it. You could get some type of initiative, and that initiative could lead to more. Thanks for the follow there. Alpha Zero style, exactly. I go A6, yeah, A6, correct. A6 is a very logical move, but in fact, you don't have to waste the tempo here, and not to just waste it, because A6 is a legit thing. And there's some crazy lines here, guys. In fact, he plays the only move that is not in the files. I'm like, bro, what on earth? I mean, I would expected him to play like captures or D5 or like, what's another move? A6, actually. All these are moves. I'm like, all these are moves here right now. I mean, this stuff gets wild. Let me show you. Like, takes. And he can play A6 here. After A6, I think I play E4. And if knight G5, then I play knight D4. This is all theory, by the way. And then after rook A4, no. There's a move. Maybe it's knight C3. Takes rook A4, and y'all ready? B5. Oh my goodness. And this, I was ready. I was like, saber on. Get right. I'm about to hit this man with everything I got. Right, because I know this is still book. And here I think I go bishop D7. But this gets very, very nuts, as you see here. This is like some ridiculous stuff. By the way, it's like equal. So with that being said, I was ready for this. I was ready. And I think in the D5 line, I go knight B4, which is pretty obvious. And then C4, I can go like C6 or C5. Like, this is fine for black. I'm doing quite fine, right? I'm doing quite fine. So the move he plays is C3. And I'm like, this not, I mean, it's a fine move. I understand. But like, you know, I was waiting on something. I was expecting something more combative, actually. And so he played c3, right? So I play e4. I play e4 just to grab some space. And I remember this is one of the plans they do anyway, so why not continue it? E4. So then knight to e1, he backs the knight up, and I actually there's a lot of moves here. As I'm talking with my coach, we looking at this game, and he like, yeah, I mean, this is just there's so many moves you can make here. But let's just see what you would do, chat. What would you do in this position? Is black's a move? What would you actually play? You have a lot of moves here, obviously. All pawns on dark right. Playing checkers. Mike C says he's playing checkers. Yo, e3. Pawn e3. You talking about for black? Like pawn e3. Like put the pawn on e3 with the black pieces. Is that what you're saying, Athos? I just want to be clear. Offer a draw. Yikes, that is gross. No, worship. No. Bishop f5. Okay, that's very possible. Very possible. Bishop f5. d5 from Terry Bird. That's nice. That is a nice move. h5. Okay. h5. All right, so look, let me tell you what engine move number 1 is. In fact, you know what? You know, Terry Bird, I take back everything I said about you, but Moody is still a little bit better than you. d5 is number 1. d5 is actually, and me and my coach actually talked. This is not the move that I played, but I played 97, right? This is the move I played with the intention of playing this as like a backward, not a backward French, because the French is with black anyway, but c6 and d5 is like a French in a way, but it's a good French because the bishop is actually wide open. So it's really nice. It's really nice. But when we come back here, you know, d5 actually is the move anyway. I just didn't have to, not that this wasted the move, because we were talking about this knight is terrible here. It's like, it's terrible here anyway. So what I was thinking is about, is like, I mean, this knight's really bad. I want to swing him here anyway, and maybe have any type of possibilities to help in a potential kingside attack. So 97, and you know, he thought for a minute, and I mean, obviously played a GM move here, you know, c4, bro. Like he was like, nah, bro. I mean, shoot, whatever, right? He didn't stop. Oh, he stopped it. But I knew I was going to play c6, so I play c6, and then we get d5 in. And now look at my structure. I'm feeling good out here. I'm like, cool, I'm comfortable, right? He goes queen b3. And here, again, this is a very rich position, guys. You have lots of moves to make. What do? Black to move. Black to move. You got a lot of moves you can make here. What's up, Deviant Attack? You're so smart, Woody. Was good, Trevor. Y'all funny. Connect 4? Yep. Looks alright, right? We got h5 from Christo. Dang, bro. Shoot. Yeah, that's a good move. In analysis, my coach proposed a move, and we're going to talk about what that move is, and that's actually move number 1 on the engine. That's just ridiculous. I mean, he found that that was his first move. Was this move I'm going to tell you guys in a minute. He was like, yeah, I just do this, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that really, but yeah, that makes total sense. And then it's the move number 1 on the engine. Let's see, we have h5, rook b8, bishop f6, knight e8, queen d2, knight f5, queen d6. Okay, here's number 1 on the engine. The move is h6, bro. h6 is move number 1 on the engine. And this is when my coach was like, yo, yeah, bro, I'd probably just play h6 here. And I'm like, h6? Garbage. What are you talking about? h6? No, but then after all, I was like, oh, it is real. What's up, AK47 in the chat? Good to see you, girl. h6 is not a move. In fact, I thought the same thing. But h6 is a brilliant move because it stops bishop g5. That's what he wants to do. He wants to put the bishop on g5 to capture the knight or do something with the knight, right? To damage the d5 pawn structure, obviously. And if you're playing this in the French fashion, the knight also goes to c2 and e3 and d5 because we're going to isolate the d5 pawn, right? Let's just look at a plan here, right? Like if I go rook b8, bishop g5, h6, takes, knight c2, and I just let's just shuffle, right? You capture here to isolate it, and then you attack it, just like you would do in a regular French defense. And now, I'm in a lot of trouble here. I could be in a lot of trouble. Bishop e6, luckily I still have counterplay with the rook b8, but then you got to think about this too as well. Like, he got to pass a pawn. Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. Thanks for the follow, Axel. Then d4 hangs. Yeah, d4's kind of hanging too. Yeah, and also there, I probably could have taken actually before b2. Yeah, right here. This is a wild game, but I didn't want to kind of give this kind of counterplay up. But h6 makes a lot of sense. Thanks for the follow, Eel. So I played knight f5. I hit the pawn on d4. I'm gonna attack this pawn, and if e3, the bishop's extremely terrible. Also, the knight has no more squares, so I go knight f5. And you think, you know, guys, wait till like I'll move 20 in here. This is Super Saiyan Tao, so it's still, you know, we gotta develop our pieces. I'm gonna show y'all what happened in a few more moves here. Knight to c2, defending the pawn. Pretty simple. Nothing really going on. I mean, we're just trying to still fill out the position here. I had many ways to go. Bishop e6 was a possibility. Rook e8. I was looking about h5. Maybe I take and play knight d6. Maybe I take and play bishop e6. He goes queen b4, rook b8. Maybe queen a4. Maybe I try for the b5 action. Maybe I take, then play b5, which is actually an option from the engine, which is this, and b5. And it's weirdly enough, I was like, b5 is a weird move, but it actually works. And like here, take. Well, actually, sorry, not here. You have to play bishop e6 in between move and then take. And it's like a strange way of like doing this. And then I was like, I was looking at all of this. There's so many things you can do in this position. So I did. I actually captured. He took back. I go knight d6 because I wanted to really get this bishop out, put the rook on e8. His plan, always be thinking about your opponent's plan. His bishop is still needs to come out somewhere. He wants to put that boy on g5. Most likely put the bishop on g5. Let me actually make this a little bit bigger for y'all too on that side. Yeah, that's for some of y'all. Yeah, perfect. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So bishop to g5. The bishop g5 is a real thing. It's going to be annoying. He's going to take this. This is weak. Quick sample line, right? Queen b4. Rook, well, let's say like a6, right? a6, bishop g5. The problem is this pawn. If you deal with it, you lose the pawn in many cases, right? That's the problem. So we need to defend it, or at least understand that he's going to try to take the knight. So I go knight d6, he goes queen a4, and then I go rook e8. I know he's going to try to take one of these knights, so I'm already defending the pawn. Bishop f4, again, so many moves I could have played here. a6, dang, that's crazy. My coach was like, yeah, a6. I'm like, a6, yeah, but I don't want to play a6 here, and a6 is like one of the best. But I actually played, oh, engine number one. Let's go, bishop e6. That's the move, bishop e6. Oh, we getting everybody tonight. Everybody coming through. Thanks for the raid, bro. We analyzing my game, bro. Appreciate it, man. We analyzing my game. Super Saiyan Towel here from my guy. Played Magesh. I played Magesh here. Big Mag. Right. Very, very strong. This is King's India. And we're going through the game right now. We're on move 15. I played bishop e6 here. Play bishop e6. What's up, Canty? What's good, Llama? Analyzing this game right now. And knight e3. So knight e3 happens. And this is a longer game. So I'm going to really kind of blitz through some. Not blitz through, but show you what I was thinking about. And then have you guys think about what's about to happen in a minute. So I go knight f5 because it's a lot of clutter here. It's a lot of clutter going on. And like, you know, I feel like I'm slightly better, but he actually he's pretty good on development. Thanks for the follow, my guy. Appreciate you. GM Archer. What's up? Thank you. Thanks for that raid, bro. Knight f5. So after knight f5, he captures and captures. He goes bishop g5. He hits the knight. He can take the knight, but at least the pawn's defended. I play h6. He captures. I capture. Right. e3. Rook a to d8. I mean, all simple. Nothing's really going on. Welcome. Have a good stream. Thank you, man. Thank you. As we analyzing the game here against Magesh, I'm here in this position. There's like nothing going on right now, right? I mean, obviously, it's equal. It's equal. If you flip the board, like let's see, look at it from White's point of view. I mean, you might say black is slightly better. Slightly better. Two bishops forever. Right, exactly. With the two bishops, I would definitely take black here. It's not so bad for the open. Exactly. I'm equal. I'm at least equal, and that's what you want to do. Right, you're playing. You don't have the first move, so you want to try to equalize, which I've done a good job of that. So after rook a to d8, he goes rook f to c1, and I'm like, what is this, bro? This is strange. This is strange. I was like, bro, this is real strange. But I was like, well, I mean, he used to be 2586 FIDE, so I mean, he is super strong. But this was very strange, and my coach said the same thing, so I felt a little better about that. He was like, yeah, that's kind of strange. And I was like, but I mean, it is Magesh, though. I honestly don't know what he wanted. In fact, I mean, if he's watching this on YouTube, when you get there, Magesh, I just want to know, too. I think we all want to know. What was this about? Rook f to c1. He played rook f to c1. This is what he did. Rook f to c1. And, okay, all right. So we're going to give it to you, chat. All right, black to move here. Let's see if we can try to get what happened in the game here. where do we go next? He wants a6 to soften c6. I think that was actually something I thought about Red Hot Mama, is like him moving the knight and then an a6 and trying to loosen with this. But I was also like, well, why didn't he use this rook though? I didn't use this one, because this rook at least is defending here, because I mean, you know me, like I'm act first, think later. Shout out to Grandfather Thou. Like, we trying to mate you, big dog. Like, especially if it's loose there, you know, I'm like, there's got to be something, right? At least maybe just put a rook on a half open file. Absolutely, but I thought the A rook was a little bit better. I mean, obviously, you know, he played it. He had an intention, you know. And what let's see what we do. B5 from someone in the chat. Bishop D7. Yeah, B5 and Bishop D7. H5 from Christo. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Or an A6 idea. Yeah, that's very possible too. Very possible. I did go H5 though. Queen E6. Queen E6 was a move I thought about casting for Betas to do that. Problem is, I think there was many cases where he can just take the pawn when I go Bishop H3, because there's no rook here. And I think that's probably why he moves this rook too as well. Maybe because of some ideas of him not being able to move the rook. Here's an example here. Like if the rook's on F1 and I go queen, let's say here, Queen E6, and then I don't even know, queen somewhere. Let's see here, rook D7, like E3 or something. Bishop H3 is different because he can't really move this. But with the rook gone here, Bishop H3 never works, and he can now move and take this. If he takes with the knight, that loses, right? You just do Bishop takes G2. So I think that is probably an idea of why, which could be, you know, completely something different of what he was thinking about, but that's what I was thinking that was about. So I play H5. He goes queen b4. He attacks the pawn. Right now, watch this little queen dance he does. He go queen b4. Now, mind you, the man's super strong, bona fide, 2474 FIDE right now, but his peak was 2586. And I mean, the man is absolutely a strong player. In fact, his CPL, Cine Pawn loss, it said he had no inaccuracies, no something else, and like 12. And we're gonna look at the game review too. I'll show y'all what it at the end. So queen b4, I go rook d7, right? He did a little dance, then he went queen c5. Now here he's hitting the pawn. Do we defend the pawn or not, chat? That's on you. Do we defend this pawn or do we not? Do you go for an attack? Or do you defend the pawn? Do you push the pawn? That is on you. And we need an answer. I have a6, launch the pawn. Somebody said launch the pawn. We ain't scared. Oh, you talking about launch the H pawn. You talking about launch the H pawn? Is that what you saying, Pepper? You said you don't care about nothing. Oh, he says yes. I don't care about nothing in life. I don't care about anything. Push the H pawn. Surely if you push the B pawn, you will die. That's Dylan. I think that's how he said it too. Surely if you push the B pawn. As soon as he moves the knight, that file, he has a battery on the C file. No, because of the passer. Right. Now here, in fact, I was thinking of everything on how to try to like crush him and like, you know, just like, yeah, just do it, you know, just do it and like go for it. But I had to realize that, look, bro, this man is not a lightweight. You don't just give up this pawn and give him a potential to push the pawn. You're going to lose. You should resign if you give up a7, right? You should push h4. When he takes a7, resign on the spot, right? I mean, just like, why give him this free pawn when I can just play a6? Yes, I have structure damage, but it's going to take him a while to move the queen. Play knight a4, play knight c5, rook a3, rook b3, and maybe even try to play rook b4, rook c3, rook b3, and then put pressure on the b7 pawn? That's crazy. But it actually is a real idea, and if he's able to execute this, you have to think about this. What do I do? Just sit around, shuffle pieces, and wait for him to do this? Because that could happen, and then if he crashes through, I absolutely lose. So in fact, I need to come up with a kingside attack, and if I do not, I could actually fail to this idea due to me having to play a6 being a huge concession of the light of the dark squares here, right? Like I literally just gave them up. So it's a problem, very big problematic. It's also a commitment, huge commitment after the a6 move. So all right, here's his next move, guys. Watch this. After a6, this man played queen to c4. I'm like, bro, what is he doing? He played queen b4. Then he played queen c5. Then he played queen c4. And I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, whatever. So I play h4. Then this man plays queen e2. Dog. And I'm starting to think like, is he trolling me or like, I mean, what is this? But I was like, hey, look, troll me all you want, my guy. I mean, saber out. You know, the saber is out. I'm not going to be friendly. So he played queen to e2. And I'm like, what is this? So I played queen g5. And then, believe it or not, yes, he did. He played queen to c2. What is this? Bro, what is this? This man plays so many queen moves right here. Okay, Chad, it's on you. This is Super Saiyan Tao. This is the part. This is it. This is over the board. This is over the board. And I went and I remember some hyperbolic chamber training with some Jedi. And I came out on the other side. Right here. Are y'all ready for this? Chat, it's on you. Bruh. Go. Do you remember Jedi Russian tactics? If you haven't, make sure you're watching that. It's on my YouTube. You have 10 videos. Tactics that'll literally melt your brain. But all that work comes out right here. Let's see, chat. Who has it? Who has what, how, where, and when, and all that other stuff. I see h3, sack the bishop. Bishop takes d4. Bishop takes d4. I know, right? Red Hound. That's what it said. No, actually, right? Bishop, fat rook lift. Yo, Code X-Man, thanks for the 10 run, bro. I appreciate that love there. Rook takes d4 from Turd Bird. Rook d4, sack the exchange. Okay, guys, watch this. So first move, watch this. I take on g3. Boom, boom. He take back. He take back. Now, I need you to give me a line. I want you to give me a line. So I see some very good moves in here, but I want you to give me a line. So, for instance, if bishop takes d4, it's your move. Bishop takes d4. E takes d4. This. And if you get, I'll give you a minute or so. I'm literally going to give you like a minute to type out the 3 to 4 moves and tell me what the line is that you're looking at. Because this is complicated chess. This is, remember, Jedi Russian tactics. This is not the one move at a time chess. Well, let's get this calculation right. Work on your Jedi Russian tactics right now. Give me the line. Type it out. 1, 2, 3. Put it in the chat. When you have it, we'll read them off. And let's see what you have. See what you have. And queen's not chess. See what y'all got. When you got a line, throw that boy up in there. Bishop takes d4, e takes d4, king g7. Did you really just say that? Did you just... Bruh. You about to sack your bishop and then move your king. That's going to be a hard no this fight. It's going to be a hard no. Bishop takes d4, e takes d4, e3. Bishop takes e, rook takes d4, rook d1. Rook takes, e takes, e3, queen d1, e takes f2, or something. Wow. Oh my goodness. You know what? Look. Dang, Turbird. I ain't even gonna lie. Your tactic's kind of nice there. Your rating might be Garbo. And Moody might be better than you by a lot of points. Bruh. But your tactics on point, though, big fella. Your tactics on point. So, with that being said, guys, I actually am 100%. Look, y'all have to remember, this is Magesh Panchanathan. Panchanathan. Big Mag. Okay? The man works. I literally lifted up this rook and I sacked it on d4. In a real game, bro. In a real game. In a real over-the-board game. I took on d4. On the GM. Super Saiyan Tao. And I'm in my head, I'm in the hyperbolic chamber. And you know, all the little yellow fire that come around, the little Super Saiyan and stuff, you know, with the lightsaber in my hand. And I'm feeling all crazy. And my hair jumping off my body. I'm getting all hot and I'm sweating. I'm like, bring me a water, please. Yes, water, please. Oh my goodness, right? Rook takes d4. I'm going to need a lot of these. I'm sweating at the board. Rook takes d4. And believe it or not, guys, the engine said that this was right. The engines was like, yeah, it's totally fine. Oh, yeah. It's great. It's excellent. Now, let me show you a few lines here, right? It was great. So, Rook takes d4. He takes it. He goes for it. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. This is about to be on national television. So, I play e3. E3 is mandatory. right? Only move here, guys, is actually queen e2. Only move is queen e2. What you got to move in here? Rook takes queen d1. E takes f2, queen e3. Wait, e takes f2, queen e3 check. Oh, yeah. Bishop 3 off from my head. Yeah, that's actually my line. Don't cry. What he was saying is this line right here is queen d1. If queen d1, you take on f2. This was my line, by the way, guys. Pawn takes, king takes, check. Here, bishop d3. Oh, my goodness, right? This is what I looked at. This is what I was going to do, right? Slow that down, right? Let's look at that again. Pawn takes f2. Boom. If he goes queen d1. This is just a queen d1 line. Pawn takes, right? If he goes king f1, it's a little bit different. Now I have rook e1. I pick up the queen. So, okay, well, what if he goes this way? Well, then I have the pawn here, and I can check you on h6, right? And now you can't go g1. You have to go bishop h3, and you get mated. It's mate there. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So you have to take the pawn, which leads me to queen e3 check, defended by the rook. King f1, bishop d3. Get him off the board. Sheesh. Oh, my goodness. Knight e2 doesn't work. Right? Everything's defended. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then I impressed my coach here, too. I'm going to show y'all this line that he didn't even see it. I'm going to show y'all this line, bro. It's the greatest thing ever. Super Saiyan Talent number 2. Watch this. So after he doesn't go queen d1. Queen d1 just doesn't work. Same thing with queen b3. It's virtually the same thing. But queen e2 actually does work. Queen e2 actually does work. Okay? It does work. It works to a certain extent. Okay, so what do you do here? I play bishop takes d4. This is the mandatory move to make. There's so many lines I can show you guys here, guys. If he plays f4, I can play queen takes g3. With the idea of, now my next idea is to play bishop g4. Because I'm trying to make your queen move so I can push the pawn with check. If you move the queen, I always have e2 check. So that means your queen has to stay on e2 the entire time. It has to stay on e2. Right, which is pretty cool because now I have like this bishop g4. I'm about to kick the queen, play e2. Very nasty. Very nasty. I also thought, what if he goes like rook f1 and tries to block, but I still have bishop g4, rook f3 takes, and you can't take again because I can check. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somebody else has a line. It says rook takes d4, e takes d4, e3, knight e4. Yes, the knight e4 line. Yep, knight e4 line. But this one actually just gets the piece back. E takes f2, queen takes f2. Yeah, rook takes e4, bishop takes e4. Right, and when you have this line with the double rook sack here, rook d1, queen h5 is a nice line. Yeah, with the initial sack. And this is just equal. This is just equal here. Queen h2, queen f3. I mean, rook d2 maybe. Like this doesn't feel great. This doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel that great. I think you have to be more accurate. It looks good. It looks good, but it doesn't feel as great. Rook takes, e takes. I played e3. He played queen e2. Bishop takes. And the f3 doesn't work. Same idea. Queen takes. Equal. Exactly. Daniel, right? It is. Believe it or not. Watch this shot. We're not even done yet. Yeah, it's a hard move to find as white. Exactly. Pawn take. Pawn takes obviously loses. So there's only one move here. There's only one move here, guys. And obviously, the man finds it. Bruh. He is so good, bro. Nagesh is so good. He plays king to f1. Confidently. He all calm about it. I mean, bro, it was just like, it was baffling. It was really scary how calm he was making king f1. Bruh. He just like, king f1, hit the clock. And I'm like, why are you so calm about that? You know, like that. Man, I'm about to, man, hold up. Right, so king f1, and then, okay, it's on you, chat. What do you do now? What do you do? King f1 with his pinky. With the pinky. Black to move. All right, chat. This is crazy. I sacked a whole rook on a very strong grandmaster. How much time did he take on queen e2 and king f1? That's a good question. I actually got my stuff right here. Hold on, what move is that? That is move 30 over here. Queen e2 and king f1. Oh, king f1, I didn't write his time down there, but he did take 6 minutes to play queen e2. And then king f1, I didn't write down his time. I should have wrote it down. But king f8, black to move, king f8. Okay, trying to defend the rook. Another one for king f8. Very nice, chat. Very nice, trying to defend the rook. That's interesting. I don't really like the king f8 move. Sorry, that's not a move. I didn't really think of the king f8 one. I don't know why this wouldn't be the same. Maybe there's like, I don't know. There's like something probably wrong with that. But I played rook to e6. I just played rook to e6. In fact, the engine likes, I think, bishop g4. Oh, they say rook e6 is a move, and c5. But rook e6 was what I played to defend this. I really want to move this, but I can't because I'm losing the rook. So I defended. He goes rook to d1. Right? He goes rook d1. Watch this, guys. I hope y'all ready for this. He takes. He takes. I mean, sorry, I take on f2. Actually, there was a line I wanted to show. Yeah, here. Queen f3. So this is what I wanted to show y'all here. So, of course, his queen's hanging. He can play queen f3, which I was definitely anticipating. And who can find the line here? Nobody saw this. This was a very sneaky thing I was setting up here. I was setting up something extremely sneaky here, and I was hoping that I was hoping that he would go for this. If this happened, like, I mean, bro, like, I would have to show everybody this on the same day it happens. This would be the best game I've ever played in my life if this actually happened. And I'm going to show you what that actually could have been. I mean, just what this position was about, what, you know, how much tactics are. Super Saiyan Tao here. This was really an amazing tactic of what I can do here. We have rook e3, bishop g4, rook e1, okay? So the move here is actually bishop g4. And then after queen f4, I looked and was like, wait a second. What if he moves his queen to f4? And then I noticed, and then I found it. Can you spot it? Who can spot it? Who can spot it? And then I found that if he moves his queen, what happens? Don't cry what finds it. It is queen to b5. Moment of silence. Moment of silence. Wow. Queen b5. Queen b5. After knight takes, bishop to e2 is checkmate. Get the man off the board. Bruh. I was so ready for this. I wanted this to happen. Wanted this to happen so bad, chat. I'm telling you, if this happened, like, I'm really gonna flex. I gotta stand up and flex. I have to. And people all around, why is this man flexing? You know, like, but I have to. I literally can't have. But this didn't happen. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. I wanted this to happen. What he did was GM. I mean, being a very strong GM, he said, you know what, Canty? All right, I see you, big fella. You ready for this? And then he hit me with a move. Rook takes d4. Oh, snap. Oh. So I'm like, bro, I'm about to take this. Like, so I looked around, see if there was anything else. So I took the queen. I take the queen. He takes the rook, right? And here, what happens? What do you do? Now, I want two things here, guys. Give me two answers. What do you do as black, number one? And what's the engine evaluation? What do you do as black? What's the engine eval? A lot, of course, casual gym play. All right, Swaggy Maggie, exactly. Swaggy Maggie over here. My guest out here turned up. Swaggy Maggie. Black is better from Code X Man. Okay. Somebody says kick rook. Queen f6 with pawn -3. Queen e3 -3. +1 maybe. Mike Z. I would do bishop e6 0.4 -6. Queen e3 and it's equal, says Spud Smasher. Wow. Now let me tell y'all something. From back here, after I sack the rook, the engine evaluation, believe it or not, is triple zeros. You think I'm making this up? Here it is. What'd that say? Triple zeros. Rook takes d4. I sacked the rook and it was right. But it was zeros. I mean, I can't believe it. Zeros, guys. It was absolutely dead drawn. After rook takes d4. This is unbelievable. Look at this. Watch this. E3. I play everything right. 94 was better, he says. But even this is still a draw. Even this is a draw. Rook e6 is like slightly better for white. C5 was better. E takes F2. Even this right here, after rook takes and knight takes E2, is not even. It's better for white by like half a pawn. Half a pawn. Are you kidding me? Bruh. The whole sack was just a draw. I can't believe that, dog. That was so amazing that the whole sacrifice was just a drawn game. It was not right. I mean, basically, can't play right. Man, that sack was brilliant, right? And you had to find King F1, which he did, and he found everything. Did he say he saw the sack after the game? No, he said I knew you was going to sack something, which he knows me very well. Because he was like I knew something was going. He was probably going to sack something at some point. But the funny thing is I waited till the right moment, and this was the right moment, but it still was a draw. Tells you how strong Magesh is, right? He was able to defend like an absolute engine, to say the least. He did. So we got to see the game review, obviously. But after Queen E3, this is actually a blunder. Found the tallest building I can find, and I jumped off of it. This is not a move. Queen E3 looks very good. Very good. And then when he played Rook E3, I proceeded to write on my score sheet 100 times on the back. Because that's how I felt. Right. So Rook A3, and I'm like, well, there we go. Now I might be losing this game. In fact, it is. In fact, it's already plus 1.5 after Queen E3, Rook A3. So some of the line gives it plus 2 already. So plus 2 advantage already from Rook A3. The only move which I did see, I was looking at Queen F6 and C5. But I didn't like C5 because the bishop always is going to constantly aim here. And I'm like, if he gets this, I mean, like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not about to do this. Bro, you've lost your mind. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not about to do this. So, but Queen F6, it hits the rook, and if he takes, I can move the bishop. And if C5, he has to go back. But this is already really hard, man. This is really hard there, right? That's amazing, right? When they say you're going to play Canty, you don't prepare openings, you wonder when he's going to sack. Yeah, you need to psychologically prep yourself of when the sacrifice is coming. Because it's a matter of time. And you better be tactically strong and correct. Because I'm only getting better with my tactics. So be very, 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 very aware. So Queen F6 was the move. I was supposed to play Queen F6. I go Queen E3, I blunder. So let me show you the rest of the game. Let me show you how I got GM'd here. I play Queen E7, he takes the pawn. I go Queen F6, I set a threat up. He goes Bishop F3, blocks the threat. I go Bishop E6, right, to maybe play Bishop D5. But, I mean, he has that well defended. He also has 2 pieces more and, like, yes, the queen. But I was like, okay, I have the pawns. Let's see what we can do. So he plays B4. Brilliant. Absolutely genius. Straight up GM. Like, B4, it defends. I can't attack this pawn. It's defended. The knight's holding the rook down for dear life. Look at this little fortress with the bishop and the knight and the rooks. I can't do nothing. But I was like, well, if I can't do nothing, I mean, maybe he can't either, really, right now. I mean, he's looking good, but how do you progress? So I played G5, which is probably an error, but already here I'm like, what I'm about to do is move the queen every move from now. Like, I guess I had to or something. Rook E3, so Rook E3, I go King G7, King G2. Queen F5 would, like, really, it looked like I'm going here, but I really wanted to play C5. Try to break this up, and if I could get these pawns, then I got one of my own. That was the whole idea. Whole idea here. And then this was from Team Amateur, Extraterrestrial. This is round 2. So Rook C3, and then Queen E5. I go Queen E5, he go King F2. And so I'm just shuffling. Like, I'm literally moving the queen around. I get the king to E7. Oh, man, it's getting bad. And then right here, he played, when I play F6, right? So right here, first off, fine go tripping, right? This is why you don't play F6. After F6, he go Rook C1, and I realized, when he played Rook C1, I'm not even going to lie, guys. This is so funny that we stream and like the stream world. I was thinking about fine go. I was like, this is why you don't play F6. Like, this is, bro. I was really kind of, because I knew that I was like, this game is not looking good for me. But I knew that when I played F6, I was like, well, all right. Fine goes right again. F6 with this option. And I'm already like dead here. In fact, the best move here is F5, which is ridiculous. Now my king's more exposed. Queen G6 and get hit again. Like, this is annoying. And then he's going to go there. I don't have any moves, and he's always gonna go here, right? So I go queen h7, and I tried to get around here, and then he found a sequence which just wins on the spot. Bishop b4 check, and then he blocks with the rook. I take the pawn, he checks here. If I move anywhere, king e8 leads to mate here. King f8 is mate on rook d8. And if I block with the bishop, which I did here, bishop g6, he just wins another piece. And I'm like, what is, you might as well, like the queen could be anywhere on the board or off the board. The position is literally exactly the same right now. All right, so with that being said, of course, I resigned here after bishop g6. That was a wrap there. And that was a wrap. That kind of hurt. But what didn't hurt there was what happened here. What was that? Rook takes d4. I mean, this was amazing that this was equal. My goodness, like insane. What happened if he did nothing? King g8, king g7. Wait for him to do something. How does he win? That's a good question. But it's already plus 2.5, 2.3. Like it's hard to make. It's hard for me to do stuff too. But here, I wanted to actually show you guys too as well at the end. And then we'll finish the video at right around the same. We have 45 minutes. So that's an insane idea, right? That's an insane idea. So let me pull up real quick. I need to pull up the game review to see what the accuracy was. So let me see what the accuracy was on here and show you guys here. Okay, so yeah, that's like a 12 centi pawn, like I said before. Okay, so here it is. Boom, 88.9. I had an 83.5, but he had an 88.9%. Dog, that was crazy. So I guess, you know, I used this here. I also used the Elite Chess one too as well. So the Elite Chess one gave it a 12 centi pawn loss and like zeros. But chess.com here says 8 in inaccuracies, 2 mistakes, 6 book, 5 good, 2 mistakes. Where did he make mistakes at? So queen c4 was Garbo apparently. And what else was king f1 was a great move. Look, I got a brilliance. I got a brilliance. Oh snap. Oh snap. Oh snap, boy. That's crazy. Oh no, that's him. Oh dang, that's crazy. Fail. Wait. So that's him. Oh, that hurts. It's a fail. But rook takes d4 is brilliant, huh? So you telling me this not brilliant? Look at this. Let's go back. Look at this. Let me flip. How do I flip? Here we go. So rook takes d4. Bro, that's a mistake. Bro, you garbage. Nobody even asked you. Nobody, literally, no one asked you at all. Literally, no one cares. Rook takes d4. So, what's the best then? Yeah, I figured. And this is what we looked at. Me and my coach looked at after queen h5. Our idea is to play g5. So if I ever get this again, I'll know. I can sacrifice, which leads to a draw, but he has to find king f1 because everything else is losing. But g5, rook d6, and rook h6. With the idea of also bishop g4, bishop f3, and a mating idea if king f1 takes him outside the box. We can check him on h1, right? We check him on h2 first, and after king f1. Queen h1, bishop takes, rook takes is mate after king to g2. Or he can't even go there because the bishop's on f3, which is the whole idea of this whole queen h5 thing, which is fire now. So now I know. Now I know. Now I know. With that being said, guys, this was Super Saiyan Tao number 2. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit the sub button. I'm gonna see y'all on the next video with the next one.